Alright, so today is actually a sale day, but well, it's pretty dead. This is my grandpa's 1978 Chevrolet, and it's a camper special, camper included. And it's the custom 10. So pretty awesome old pickup. Got a 350 in it. And well, we're not really sure why it's here. I seem to recall when I was a kid that Grandpa said he parked it because Grandma's pickup was really good for towing, and so he just didn't think he needed it anymore, and so he parked it. But I'm gonna guess that there's something going on, but we'll find out and see how many bee stings we get. So yeah, let's do it. So we better start with a walk around. Dad's trying out the door. It kind of closes. Needs an adjustment. But looking inside, what do we got? Comes with here. Comes with looks like maybe some mice. That'll be nice. And new shocks, air filter, and missing the glove box. But you know what? I found a glove. Pretty awesome. We'll install that. And otherwise, you know, gauges are fogged. Dash is pretty much gone. But you know, it's all here. And if you remember, there was a big juniper tree here. And so we were able to get in here with a weed eater and get a bunch of the stuff out cleared. And just see that, you know, it really doesn't have a bunch of rust. The patina is actually really pretty. Dad found a radio flyer new in the box. Wow. Classic red wagon with wheels. We weren't sure if the wheels would be good. Oh, they're steel wheels. Oh, that's the real deal. That was in the back of the pickup. Along with, these are our go-karts, which I never raced these ones down the hill, but I think my siblings did. Grandpa made these.
They're a newer edition.
They are the new. Oh, they got handbrakes. Oh yeah, look at that. They even got brakes. Spring seats. Oh man, how nice are those? We'll have to get those out and look at them later. Might have to do some racing down the hill. What's in the back there? Last bite, snail and slug stuff at the very back. A couple broken out tail lights. Those will need to be replaced, but I mean, it's straight, which is really cool. Little bit of rust in the fenders. Little dent there. But it is a really cool old pickup. This is my grandpa's cowboy pickup. Even has a CB in it, ready to roll. Dual antennas. There's the air filter. The other side here. Yeah, what do we got? Air filter, lighter, wasps. The door panel is, I mean, it's actually in really good shape. You know, the floorboard looks pretty good. Surface rust. It'll hopefully clean up. It's carpeted. Steering wheel's melted. Been in some sun, but I mean, overall, this thing is pretty cherry. But we just have no idea if it runs or really anything. So, but the top is totally patinaed, which is so cool. If it were me, I would just clear coat this thing and call it a day. So, see what's on the inside here. So I'm a little concerned seeing the air filter sitting in the seat there. We'll pop the hood and see what we got underneath here. We do have some weather coming in, so I'm not sure how much we'll be able to spend on this today, but at least maybe get a idea, see if it turns.
Other side.
Okay.
You might have to put something on each side to.
Yeah, you don't want to just slam her open, that's for sure. Let me go over here.
Yeah, if you.
There we go. All right.
Is that locked in on your side?
There we go. Yep.
See if it'll stay or not.
What do we got? We got Mouse House City. Okay, so we got her open.
I don't think it's got a carb on it though.
Missing the carb. Mouse House City. Top and bottom. But we're missing. Yeah, we're definitely missing the carb.
Distributors there.
Yep. Carburetor. Plenty of stuff living on top of the motor. You know what we should do? We should get a vacuum. Uh-oh.
That's just disconnected.
Yeah. And then
this is off. So I got it tore down.
that's the thermostat.
Yeah. Yeah, you had it off for some reason.
So the question is, where the carburetor at? And oh yeah, it doesn't turn. Uh-oh. Fan turns.
Yeah,
to get something on it.
Yeah. It's that bottom one that's got to turn. That's.
Yep. All right. So she's not turning. Let's see if she got oil. Wasp. Got oil. Actually, looks pretty clean.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
What I'm seeing, I don't think the belts are pretty good too.
We need a carburetor.
Hey guys.
And
we're looking at this pickup and seeing what all's going on with it.
A mouse turd.
Yeah, it's got Mouse House. That's a Mouse House right there.
Where?
Right here.
Oh.
Yeah, there's one going.
And the spring right there, and all these mouse turds.
This place, my be still living in here.
I would say so.
There's lots of mouse turds here and mouse houses.
Or the carburetor. I wonder what he did with the carburetor.
Is it in the cab?
Well,
it's got to be.
You'll be able to get that on there.
Maybe. Maybe. If we're lucky. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she turned.
Oh good.
Yep. I don't know if he's trying to get a full revolution.
If you're just turning, that's the main thing.
Anything that's
I guess
it feels good.
If you want, we can see if it nudge it a little bit. Isn't gonna start obviously.
Oh, bump the starter.
Just bump it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that till we clear all this out.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Because he's got his bolts in here for his all the stuff.
Yeah, it'd probably be good to get your.
I haven't seen a carb.
Yeah, I wonder if you didn't pull it and put it on the other pickup.
Oh, put it on Grandma's.
Yeah.
Well, then the question becomes, where's Grandma's carburetor? Because you know he didn't throw that away. Boy, I don't know. There's a lot of promise here. A lot of promise. Yeah, I think that would. Well, yeah, it's find the carburetor. All those plugs and wires are still in. Yeah. Yep. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't go. I mean, unless it's got. I wonder what a new carburetor would cost. A couple $100 probably.
Well, if you can find
Oh, there's tons of aftermarket for them. I bet Napa would have one. Greasable hubs.
They're not the old turn-ins.
Well, it's not four-wheel drive. Yeah, that's two-wheel. Well, I caught most of it, but yeah, that's what I'm like. Well, at least I guess we know what we're looking for now.
Yeah.
Carburetor, thermostat, vacuum. Okay, well, we've pretty much determined, as you saw, we need a new carburetor and thermostat. Looks like that's what he was replacing, which we found in our parts bucket. So, but the carburetor, we haven't tracked one down yet. So that's kind of the next step here. So once we get a carburetor, well, we can do some of that. And some of the hoses didn't feel quite right, but I think she's going to be a runner, which is pretty cool. So we'll see what we can mess up next. All right, we're gonna go see what parts we can find here. We know that in the treasure room, what I found, let's see, is that, oh, here we go. So here's a fresh thermostat that I'll have to run the number to see if it matches, but I have no reason to believe it wouldn't for a thermostat. And then I also found a carb rebuild kit here, or it's a tune-up kit, yeah. But I can't imagine that wouldn't be suitable for some stuff. Mouse turds included. But we're on the hunt for a carburetor. Which Dad thinks maybe there might be one in here. But there's mostly, I think, all the chainsaw stuff. I think Meyer's Garage is going to be the
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Going to be the ticket. No way. Sure enough.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
We're just doing a quick. Yep.
Yeah,
that's our guy. So we'll get a box and box it all up, and then we'll yeah, I got a carb rebuild kit.
Did you want to?
Oh, I need to work on my. Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, this is for you. That's the Thigh Master.
That's right.
Oh man, that'll bring you back.
That'll help you guys a little bit.
How this goes down is insane.
It's a lot more sense if it was here. So.
What's that?
A lot more. It makes a lot more sense to me what was in here because he was probably working on it and then kind of got distracted for a couple of years.
Yeah, for a couple of years.
I don't want to put those. I don't know if you're gonna probably need another kit.
Yeah, well, I've got another carb kit. I don't know if it fits this one or not, but I'll have to look it up.
I don't know what that's about, but
a little baby hose. This is where we need Vice Grip Garage to show up and show us how to do this.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll take everything that was over there because I don't know how these go together, but I'm going to YouTube it to find out.
Sure, this is.
I cannot believe we found a carburetor. Found a carburetor.
And a Thigh Master.
And a Thigh. Oh yeah, Thigh Master. See?
2 for 1 deal.
Oh yeah. Bye bye, family. See you in a while. I'm here by myself this week, and for the rest of this week anyways, and our goal is to get Grandpa's pickup running and driving. So that's kind of where we're at. It's just me and Grandma's pickup to get around in. But I'll show you kind of what I got going here. So I kind of got a mess going, but I ended up driving to Sturgis, South Dakota to pick up a completed carburetor that's a Quadrajet, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm tearing it down. I've got a mess here, but I tore it down, sprayed stuff out, got all the jets cleaned up, and then I was seeing online where apparently these caps leak, so I epoxied those, and just in general, like, tried to clean it up the best that I could. It was pretty not nearly as clean as Grandpa's, but I contemplated going back and forth on, should I try to mix the two carburetors together, but unfortunately there's just enough differences that I think it'd be wiser to keep them each together. So what I'm dealing with here is on the new carburetor, it's a year newer than Grandpa's, and it comes with a bunch of extra vacuum ports, and so I need to figure out which ones I don't need and then cap them. But in general, for this entire project, I have no idea how to route the vacuum lines. I know where to put the fuel line, but this is where my expertise ends, and I'm going to have to rely on the inner tube and my Grandma's pickup for reference on how to possibly do this. So we're just gonna keep cleaning it up today and my goal today is to put it back together and then start eyeballing how to put it into my Grandpa's pickup. So here we go. Well, I got it back together here. I'm just hoping and praying I did something right and not too many things wrong. I was starting to mess with the choke here a little bit, and I realized I think I had the spring backwards, or I had the levers preset or preloaded, and I think it's supposed to start open. I'm hoping. Get this guy adjusted here. YouTube has been my friend this whole time. Okay, so just starting to open on the spring. Well, that should be about it. I know they say once you've seen one of these carburetors, you've seen them all, but what's that mean when you've never seen one before? So all these videos I've watched, I haven't seen one that's got the same exact carburetor as what I've got, so I don't know. I do know that I'm gonna have to block off a bunch of these vacuum lines, but I've got to first figure out what they do, and I'm half tempted to pull out the high-low tuning. These originally were capped, so this is a later model, and you can't really get onto them with anything. The old ones are just a little flat blade screwdriver, and so I'm thinking if I can get these out, I'm going to swap those with my Grandpa's. So might make that modification, but for now I think we're rolling in the right direction. Things are at least seem like they're operating. So there's a piece here that I really don't know if I got right. It fell off and I wasn't paying attention to how it went on there, but it's basically is what controls the engine's ability to go into the high side, so it opens up the big guys here. And I know it goes on here. The diagram shows it goes on here, but what I'm confused about is whether or not it was supposed to go before this little nub right in here. And there's part of me that thinks it should, and you know, it's just otherwise it's just kind of freewheeling here, and I really don't think that's right. The crappy part is, well, at least I don't have to take the whole carburetor apart, but if I am wrong, I've got to take off the choke mechanism, and then that's kind of a fun little job to get that back in there, just to making sure that choke arm on the top here doesn't fall out. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with it for now, and I'm gonna know that it's not working because I'm not gonna get any of my high range on the carburetor. So, but yet if I have, well, let's see if I have this open. See, and that's still locked out. They're saying that you should be able to open up the carburetor and then have full. Well, there we go. I guess maybe I do have it right. Go with it for now and see if it changes later, I guess. But I think this guy's pretty much ready to be installed. I think the thing I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to go through. I'm going to do some comparing and contrasting here between my grandpa's carburetor and this carburetor, just for the different vacuum ports, and then I need to decide what vacuum ports I want to block off and hope that those are the correct ones. I think I'm going to start there and at least try to make some decisions. Like, I know that on my grandpa's, this vacuum port here doesn't exist, and then my grandpa has a hose coming out the back here, and this is capped. So I'm thinking that what I might do is swap that around. I might cap this, put my grandpa's in here, and just modifications like that to maybe make this be quicker and easier. Sure. So we'll start there and see what happens. I'd heard from a guy that you can use wiring butt connectors to get some of these out, and this one seems to be kind of working, so I think I'm gonna at least see if I can get one of these out. Oh, that's unfortunate. I think the threads are just a little different on each one. The old one's got a little bigger of a thread, and these ones have got a finer thread on them. You can see the end that I have to have is, it's just stupid, and I know why they did it. They did it because they didn't want people working on or tweak this portion of their vehicle, but it's a kind of a pain in the butt. You can't really do much with it. So actually, I just had a better idea. I have a grinder, and I'm going to notch them. I'm just going to cut a little notch in the end, that way I can get onto it with a little flat blade screwdriver. Every now and again I have a good idea. Not very often, but every now and again. There. I sure don't think that'll hurt anything if I do that. There we go. Nothing real big. I don't know if you're supposed to do that or not. Probably not. But I could at least get onto it with a screwdriver now. I mean, these aren't supposed to have any tension on them at all anyways, really, so that spring is what keeps the real tension on them. So okay, so we're lightly seated, so here we go. We'll back this out. It's supposed to be 3 1/4 turns. So here we go. 1/2, 1, 1/2, 2, 1/2, 3, and 1/4. Okay, so that should be where it's supposed to be, at least for startup. And once again, I really don't know what I'm doing, like in the slightest. I've done small engines, and so I know some general ideas of how to tune carburetors and stuff, but in terms of something this big, I mean, I have no idea what I'm doing. I am relying on YouTube and other sources of information like the diagrams and all sorts of stuff just to kind of piece this all together. And I'm just hoping and praying that it runs enough to be able to hear my grandpa's pickup bark off and figure out what else is wrong with it. So, all right, I'm going to go notch this one. I'll be back. All right, got the second one notched. All right, it's time to start scratching my head. Got my props in place today, so don't drop this on. I kind of rummaged through here a little bit, pulled out what I could for bolts. I found a vacuum cleaner outside of Baker's there, so I'm going to use that, I think, to vacuum up the mess and a couple mouse houses in here, up here, down here, all over. So vacuum that up, and then it's really starting to figure out, I guess, how this is supposed to go together. Okay, well, we got her cleaned up. I got a gasket ready to go. I was thinking about swapping the thermostat because I could tell that's what my grandpa was doing. He had the thermostat cover off. I'm still missing a whole bunch of bolts, but I guess those are replaceable. But I think what I'm going to do is replace the thermostat, then put the carb on, and kind of do a fitment check to see, I guess, kind of where we're at. So, let's see if I can get you guys in on a better shot of what I'm doing here. There we go. So here's the thermostat. Just trying to scrape off the material. I'm going to grab a carb cleaner here. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. I think I've said that 30,000 times now, but you guys at Napa were great, at least for putting me on the correct path. But I think I've got figured out what actually needs to happen here. So I didn't even have to use the Googler for it. At least not a whole lot. Holy, that was a turkey. Wow. Wildlife abounding. All right. I like flew right over the pickup. Okay. Wow. All right. We'll get the schmooze off of here. I'm going to drop this guy back into place, which I'm sure is destined to leak like a sieve. But what I figured out is this guy runs through here, and all should be right with the world. Hoping. So that guy threaded. And then there's another one of these that's of course shorter that goes on the other side. Because this guy right here is going to go on top of there, which I have a nut for, which explains why I had the random nut. Oh no. Of course, if I can't find the hole, that's going to be an issue. Get up closer to my furry friend here. Oh man. Maybe what I should do, we'll just put this whole mess together here. It would help also if I had the bolt turned the right way with the correct stud hanging out. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get some sort of a seal with all the dirt and stuff in there. Okay, I'm sending it. Maybe someday I'll become a master mechanic and I'll look back on these videos and laugh at myself. Put some extension edge on it just to make me feel cool. Oh yeah, that's torqued. Oh yeah. Alright, sweet. So I think what that means is I can do the next piece of this puzzle, which is going to be putting this over top of the stud. So, like so. And then put this nut on. Okay. Well, let's see if what I might do, I'm going to take this off for a second. Just going to put this onto here and use the bolts to kind of help guide us in here. The rest of it will come. That one's quite in all the way. next morning. Curbs installed. I have no idea if I have the vacuum tubes hooked up correctly or not, but we're gonna see if we can get it to fire. So the big hose coming out the front here, that's supposed to be for the PCV valve, but it doesn't have one. So I'm just gonna let that ride. And then this canister, I mean, it's all emissions anyways, but it comes out the front there, and then distributor there. I'm trying to figure out if the distributor was supposed to go here or here, and I have a feeling it's actually supposed to go over here, but we'll hopefully we'll swap it around if we need to, I guess. But yeah, so we're gonna put some jumper cables on and find a key that fits and see if she'll crank for us today. So here we go. All right. Well, that's good, I guess. Got her out of gear. Oh yeah. A little low, but not too bad. Boy, maybe instead I should use the correct tool for the job. Oh. Yeah, down that line. Okay, we're back at it again here. A couple things I decided to do. I charged the pack, and then I decided to go ahead and replumb the fuel. So I went into the inlet side of the fuel pump and ran a fuel line up here to a fresh tank of premium gas, only the best for this pickup. And I went ahead, I replumbed the distributor as well. I did pull the distributor cap. Everything was really clean under there. So, I mean, there's no reason why that wouldn't be firing. So, I think we're going to just try fresh gas because that gas was super varnished. And if this pops off, then I'll drain the fuel tank and we'll put some fresh stuff in. But I don't know. We're going to try this first and see if I can at least get it to bark. And if I can do that, then man, that's a victory right there in itself. So, but we got choke all the way open, or open because I can't plumb that. So yeah, let's give this a go. See what happens. I'm sure there's a bunch of, just that old gas that's in there. I wonder if I just kind of flooded it out and I really should try to find the right wrench for that. Maybe I'll go do that. Alright, well, tighten the fuel line up again and see. I'm going to strategically place you guys up here, and I'm going to crank it again, because I feel like all that fuel that came out was actually from the top of the accelerator pump, which I'm assuming would mean that we're a little flooded. So I might close the choke and then see if that makes a difference for us. All right, let's see what we got. Well, bummer. Doesn't seem like it's cranking quite fast enough. Should be cranking faster, but granted. Starting to wonder if I made a mistake. I just feel like there's fuel pouring out of like everywhere. Out the bottom of the carb and top of the carb. Fuel filter. I have no idea what I'm doing. Probably have no business doing it. But I tightened some more stuff up, so give another crank here and see. My concern is that it just doesn't even sound like it wants to go, you know? But gotta try. There we go. Well, guys, I'm just not sure what to do now. I feel like something's not right with the carburetor, which would make a lot of sense because I've never done a carburetor before, but I don't think that much fuel should be pouring out. Might be wrong about that, but I think for now we're just gonna have to let my grandpa's pickup sit till I can figure some stuff out and go from there. One thing that came up was I wasn't sure if the C10 came in a four-wheel drive, and I'm not sure if my grandpa retrofitted a four-wheel drive kit or what, but I do remember him saying that the transfer case was bad, and I'm just starting to wonder if it's worth getting it going. Which is sad to say because this pickup is pretty straight otherwise, but I just don't have the skills. And unless somebody else can come out here and do it, I'm kind of at my absolute limits, unfortunately. But we'll see. I'll keep doing research and keep seeing if I can, figure something out. Maybe I can come across a carb that isn't destroyed by me. Maybe buy a new one. It's hard because I'm already like $300 into this thing, and to have no result is disappointing. But that's just the way it goes sometimes, and yeah, it kind of sucks.